I'm not an essentialist like that. I think it's a broad political spectrum that has a whole bunch of characteristic features.
Great. Now just do whatever that bullshit is in reverse and answer my question.
So we'd have to do that in the first place, right? And then once that's in place, we would just...
By the way, this is when this guy Nathan on a group call called Andrew a fascist or something after the debate.
The mud-coloured one known as Vargine is an unscrupulous vagabond latching onto the altruism of Westerners. Down with Vargine, do not redeem.
Yeah. Down with Vargine, do not redeem.
Have to look at the relevant evidence.
There's no audio.
So those
Great. So do that bullshit in reverse and then tell me how I'm a fascist.
Well, I need you to agree to what to those criteria as well. If you don't agree to those criteria, then it's not going to matter if I do that.
Have I ever fasted on just water? Yeah, I've tried that.
For myself,
because you can't, can you? You can't actually demonstrate it.
That's not why. That's not why.
Then do it. Then do it. Then do it.
Well, are those criteria? You know, is that how you would go about it?
I just told you. Go ahead. We'll use that criteria for the purpose of this, and just in reverse.
Refresh, yeah. Refresh if there's no audio.
No, because I'm talking to you, Andrew. I don't care.
I'm talking to you.
I don't know why Digital knows this. He's playing this live right now. He's probably trying to, you know, get some traction, because if you use Andrew in a video or whatever, you'll probably get found or something. But this was an embarrassment. I remember this. It was about a year ago now. He called him a fascist. Andrew jumped on and said, "Here's the list of criteria. Demonstrate I'm a fascist."
Are you going to answer? Are you going to answer? You're not going to answer the question, are you?
Okay, so do we have to do it this way then, right? Do we have to set up some kind of pooled funding for me to come to the US, where what we do is like...
You like the dangerous loaf of bread, don't you?
5-minute debate rounds, 5-minute grapple rounds, right? And we see what goes up. Because then when I'm physically dominating you as well, you won't be able to overtalk.
He always goes physical, right? This guy, he's a homosexual, by the way. Nathan here has done it. He's done it. And so he always goes to the physical. He's like, "I want to debate you, but I first want to roll around with you sweaty on the ground. I want to dominate your butt."
Dude, you just get shot in the face. Shut up.
Oh, so you wouldn't consent to that because you're not a man. Is that right?
What? Why do you always want to wrestle dudes? You called him a fascist. Just defend your claim. Why do you have to move to, "I want to wrestle you"?
Oh, I'm sorry. Would you consent to a gunfight?
I wouldn't consent to a gunfight.
What kind of fucking man are you then? Shut up, you fucking idiot, and answer the question.
Well,
oh man, that was oof.
Fights aren't legal, right?
They are if somebody else pulls a gun on you.
I'm a theocratic fascist. Big whoop. Wanna fight about it?
Gunfights aren't legal. What I'm proposing is...
So we go to a country where they're legal.
So self-defense isn't legal?
Legal, and then it's fine?
Well, because as a conservative, I respect rule of law, Andrew. So
I'm not a fucking conservative. Can you tell me why I'm a fascist or not?
What I'm proposing here is a...
This guy's... Dude, Digital Gnosis, you are so cowardly. No matter how many...
As a distinguished gentleman, I dislike giving money to corporations. But the filth coming from that woman is convincing me this is better.
That's funny. Snagglebees hates Vagine that much. No matter how many muscles you build, Nathan, or how many jiu-jitsu fights you have, or whatever, no matter how many men you've dominated in your bedroom, it will never make up for your intellectual cowardice.
Genuine legal thing that you could do, but you won't.
Then let's go to Somalia. We'll go to Somalia and have a gunfight.
Right, so
anyway,
that's not a realistic suggestion.
Why is it not realistic? But it's less realistic than you coming from whatever fucking toilet bowl you're in to come to the United States to grapple with a 41-year-old man, you fucking twat. Answer the fucking question, dude.
So I know why you won't do that, right? It's because it would create a massive amount of dissonance for this projection of masculinity that you create. For people to see me dominating you.
Okay, I'll tell you what.
And intellectually.
My co-host Jake Rattlesnake says that he'll box with you. He'll fly. He's actually in Australia. He said he'll go to the UK and do a boxing match with you. You wouldn't want to. You wouldn't want to cower down to another fascist, would you?
I have no idea who Jake.
Well, he's a professional fighter like you are, except he's a
I'm not a
boxer.
professional fighter. Right?
Oh no, don't back away now. Jake said that he's willing to come
It's
over
not that I'm
there.
backing away. I'll have to
Oh,
keep
don't
Jake
back
back.
away, bro. Come on.
So it's like you saying
You want to pick on you want for you to ask or answer the question.
Right. So I need to know what would. So okay. So
how whatever the criteria that you're
imagine
using
I
to
told
answer
you-
all of my
imagine
other
I-
questions.
I told you.
Dude, I remember this. So cowardice. Like, dude, you claimed he was a fascist. We listed the criteria for fascism historically. Can't do it.
I told you. Mussolini wears leather boots. That makes him a fascist. Would you accept that?
I would accept that you would consider that part of your criteria for fascism, yeah.
Well, I don't, right?
But you just gave a hypothetical where you did though.
No, I didn't do that. I just said
If I said
asking you.
blank is a hypothetical.
You're getting confused between me and you. Yeah. So
I'm sorry. If
I'm
you
saying-
say I'm sorry.
I offered
If
this
I
to you.
said you're gay, that's a hypothetical. If I said blank that's a hypothetical.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not hypothetical. It's who it was a hypothetical for. It was a hypothetical for you, not for me.
Yeah,
So
but you said
confused
you
between
said if I said to you Andrew blank, hypothetically, right?
Yeah,
Would
I
you
didn't
accept?
dispute
Would you
that it
accept
was-
that?
Dahmer vibes, totally G money. I totally get that from this guy. Absolutely. Especially when he wears glasses, you're just like, dude, bro,
You are bloody bitch. Why you are bloody bitch?
you're
Bloody.
blardy. What
Bloody.
blart? You're
Bitch.
you're
You
blardy.
are.
No, you're
I am not.
No,
you
you're-
are.
No, you are.
Bloody.
No, you're blardy. Vagine, you're blardy.
Fucking el laddie.
That would you accept that? I would accept that that's your criteria for
The
fascism.
mistake
Yes.
here- yeah. Well, I wouldn't say that wearing leather boots makes someone a fascist, right?
Yeah, I know, but if you hypothetically did say that, I could hypothetically accept that would be your criteria. See how that works?
I hope you can see, Andrew, that I'm trying to like offer you a little bit of grace here because I don't want this to be.
You're just being a fucking idiot. Just answer.
He's just avoiding. He's doing meta. I'm offering you grace here. I'm offering you grace here, Andrew.
The question, dude.
So
So.
I don't actually want this to be as combative as you were trying to make it.
Oh, you still going meta? Answer the question,
right.
dude.
I
trying
wasn't
to
even
make-
combative. I came in
collaborative.
here. You started spurging about how you're a tough guy and going to beat me up and shit.
Stop.
Are you
spurting.
able to have a conversation without?
I don't know. Are
interrupting
you,
and cracking a central point?
bro? Listen, I came in.
Which debate? This is after the Dillahunty mess, and then these guys, all the atheists and secularists, had their little panels, and they were talking about Andrew claiming he was a fascist and all these things, but he was listening and he jumped on, and now he can't. This is when Nathan couldn't defend his claim.
In here, and all you did was spurg about how you're going to beat me up. Great, awesome, fantastic. You're great. You're going to beat me up. You're fucking incredible.
I didn't
But
say
you
I
can't.
will.
But you can't. But you can't answer a fucking question.
If you consent was an important caveat because I care about consent.
Vagine would shit on him.
So, I mean, I think I'm highlighting the problem with the question here, right? If I said Mussolini wears leather boots, so that makes him a fascist, then that's not going to be accepted.
There was
as an
another
answer. Well, you
sighting
said
of Cameron Bertuzzi's heresy recently. He posted a poll here on YouTube about the subject. The results of said poll can be interpreted as hopeful for humanity.
Interesting, Austin. I'll check that out. He posted a poll on here. On YouTube. Yeah, I want to check that out, Austin. Actually, thank you.
you would accept it, right? So that's what confused me.
I would accept it as your criteria.
Yeah, but it's not a part of my criteria. So you can see how immediately these
That doesn't
kind of-
even make sense, dude. So what you're saying here is, if hypothetically I gave you my criteria for what fascism is, would you accept that? The answer is yes. You say that makes no sense.
No,
Makes
that's
perfect
not-
sense.
That's not right because the first.
Yes,
order
it is
disagreement-
right.
So what do we disagree about, Andrew? What's the core of this disagreement?
Well, right now we're not sure we have a disagreement.
So I think we have a disagreement about a characterization of fascism.
No,
which
right
is-
now we're not sure we have a disagreement.
It's all so exhausting with these people. Like I'm honestly, at this point, Andrew probably wouldn't maybe waste his time with someone like this. I mean, this is early on, before the trajectory upward. This is a little guy, and now he's trying to reap some of the rewards of this exchange. You know, he's trying to jump on the train here.
Question, dude.
Academically engaged
How
way.
am I a fascist?
Because I try to engage.
How
with
am I
this-
a fascist,
Because I
dude?
try to engage with this.
Yeah, you
in a
got
cau-
nothing.
in a
You literally
cautious
have
and-
nothing, dude.
In a cautious and academically
Yeah,
engaged
whatever.
way.
You're fucking gay,
I don't
and
get
you won't
caught
answer the
down-
question.
I don't get bogged down in your sort of silly.
Just
little
answer the
debate
fucking question, dude.
tactic. How come you can't answer a question, right? So
I didn't make
You
the
are.
claim. You made the claim.
No,
I can't
you
answer a
did.
question
You can't
without-
answer a question. I know.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I can't.
Yeah, it
answer
is
a
what you're
question.
saying.
I can't. It's a part of what I'm saying, Andrew.
Mhm.
Now, are you interested in actually getting to the bottom of this, or is it all as I say? What a fascist would want.
Answer the fucking
Little-
question.
So, okay, so we don't know what would count as a demonstration.
You don't know. You don't know. You don't know how to answer the question. You're
No,
confused
yeah.
about that.
Yeah, I'm confused about your.
How do other people demonstrate things to you?
So it depends on what it is that they're trying to demonstrate, right? So, for example,
How would somebody demonstrate, for instance, that they were that you were not a fascist? How would they?
I just don't know where it's doubling, honestly, on my side. It's really confusing me. What the hell is this?
Sufficiently do that for you?
Yeah, so one thing that they would have to have is a sort of characterization of the features of fascism broadly.
You
right?
underestimate my audio
I don't think that
interference
there are gonna be
skills, Jimmy
necessarily
Bobby.
sufficient conditions. I'm not an essentialist like that. I think it's a broad
Oh, now it's not
political
doubling.
spectrum that has a whole bunch
think.
of characteristic features.
Great. Now just do whatever that
Nope,
bullshit
this
is in
one- it's
reverse
still
and answer
accurate.
my question.
So we'd have to do that in the first
So
place,
weird, dude.
right? And then once that's in place, we would just have to look at the
It's
relevant
fine.
evidence and the considerations. So those
Great.
might
So
be
do that bullshit in
really
reverse
scientific
and then tell me
natures.
how I'm a fascist.
Well, I need you to agree to to those criteria as well. If you don't agree to those criteria, then it's not going to matter if I do that for myself because
Because you can't, can you? You can't actually demonstrate it,
That's
can
not
you?
why. That's not why.
Then
Actually,
do
no,
it. Then do
it's
it.
not why.
Then do it.
Well, are those criteria? You know, is that how you would go about it?
I just told you, go ahead. We'll use that criteria for the purpose of this and just
Not
in
for the
reverse.
purpose- no, because I'm talking to you, Andrew. I don't care.
I'm
about
talking to you.
You don't hear
Are you
it.
going to
Care
answer?
about
Are you
intellectual
going to answer?
activity.
You're not going to answer the question, are you?
I don't. Okay, so do we have to do it this way then, right? Do we have to set up some kind of pooled funding for me to come to the US, where what we do is like 5-minute debate rounds, 5-minute grapple rounds, right? And we see what goes up. Because then when when I'm physically dominating you as well, you won't be able to overtalk because I'll just cover your
Dude, you
mouth.
just get shot in the face. Shut up.
Oh, so you wouldn't consent to that because you're not a man? Is that why?
It's so bad, dude.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then you fucking dumbasses get wrong all the time because you're stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, pull it up. Was Mary Magdalene a prostitute? No. She wasn't a prostitute, bro.
Yeah.
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 But did Jesus
Yeah.
hang out with?
Yeah. What? Was
Uh-oh.
Mary Magdalene a prostitute? No.
Well, we don't know, right? But
No, we
no,
do
we
know.
don't.
There's no reason for us to believe that she was a
This
prostitute.
guy's such
None.
a turd.
All
dude.
you're doing is defaming her. That's it.
Andrew
Okay.
Smokey, I
How-
need
how
you to
about
make
right
my
hand
argument
instead?
for me.
Yeah, what about it? I'm not
Is she
saying
a
that
prostitute?
Jesus Christ
Angry Smoke Man need to make my argument for me.
loved
That's right.
everybody. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But he also condemns sin. And so does Paul. Paul makes this very clear. Okay? Makes it very clear what the
Right.
sexual dynamics are to be between people. And the condemnation of
Does
the sin is
Jesus-
fine.
And in the Gospels, do you think that there's a particular point of the people that Jesus is with and who his followers are, of them being prostitutes, of them being tax collectors, of them being people of different ethnicities?
Yeah, so what was going on at this time?
Yes, Vagine.
Don't ignore me, you hillbilly. I'll cut your audio off again.
Are you... Okay. Oh, okay, Vagine.
Is you had the Pharisees, and the Pharisees were doing their 1/10 shit to try to get the Spirit of God back into the temple. They were essentially trying to bribe God to come back. Okay? Jesus Christ hated their hypocrisy, loathed them, called them serpents, he called them vipers, he called them whitewashed tombs, things that would
Yes, Vagine.
Don't ignore me, you hillbilly. I'll cut your audio off again.
Well, if you could kindly get out of my computer.
get you killed. at the time. Yes, Jesus Christ's grace extends to everybody, even them. But you having grace, take the woman at the well, go and what? Sin no more. The whole point of this is you're not supposed to, as a Christian, be advocating for same-sex marriage. That's insanity.
So it's not about advocating for. Well, firstly, I don't actually think that same-sex marriage is a category that even makes sense in the biblical worldview, right? And I don't think that even like being gay is something that is talked about in the Bible or that makes sense. There's just not even a parallel. It's not to say that those activities don't exist.
Okay,
It's
well,
to say that
Paul knew. Paul was among the Greeks. He knew exactly what it was. I don't know where you get this idea
no,
that Paul was somehow fucking stupid, and that Paul,
No, I don't say
especially
that. I
Paul's
think Paul
future
was
bishops,
incredibly intelligent
and Paul's
educated,
future bishops
and
especially knew
functional.
exactly what it was when men were running men. They knew exactly what it was, and they condemned it.
Well, sure, but you don't know what either of them thought, right? That's the problem. And so what you're doing is you're imagining Paul as like
We do know what they thought. We have apostolic, we have apostolic succession. We can go and track the bishops. You can track the bishops from Paul. You realize there were other bishops who spoke after Paul.
And you're interpreting what they have to say on the matter, and they disagree with one another. And even the people who are a part of the councils disagree with each other. Pharisees.
Well, you can't disagree with them too much. They wrote the Bible you're reading.
Well, it depends, right? I mean, literally, they contradict each other in the Bible. They say competing things against one another because a lot of yes, they do.
Who in the Bible is contradicting who? Are you going to bring up Paul's contradicting somebody? Go ahead. Let's go through
Paul
it.
contradicts himself, but you could say he didn't author some of the things that he he is purported to have written, and then you can say, okay, well, Acts contradicts it directly.
When does he cope?
You know what? TikTok is mostly women, so they'd be.
But that is what.
Yeah, I know, because you're lying again. All right, I'm good. I appreciate all of your incredible lies, but I got to get going. I have another show. I got to. Hey, I got to go get to a top 10 show. I got to get out of here. You have a great day. I did enjoy the discussion, even though it turns out I thought that you were like some smart boy. That's how you positioned yourself. You're the smartest and bestest and the brightest, and you're just kind of a dummy. But yeah, I still enjoy doing these things.
Andrew, there are like various parts of my conduct that I regret, but I hope that overall that I can demonstrate that there is a better way than the way that you're leading people to.
Yeah. Okay. What is it?
Well, that's not for me to decide.
Yeah. All right. Have a good day, man.
Dude, he's just such a. I mean,
fucking dummy.
Sure. Lord,
there's a better way.
mercy.
I don't have to say so. I don't have to say what it is.
For they know not what they do. That is my honest reflection on that. Is
Here we go.
It's difficult. This line between standing up for the right thing and combating genuinely awful people versus treating them with respect. Giving the shirt off your own back.
Oh my gosh, you're
turning the other cheek. I mean, I fail to do it all the time, and that is why I am very grateful for the message of grace in the gospel, which is that no matter how much people screw up, they can always be redeemed, like the thief on the cross. That's something that I care about. I just want to say also to Andrew's fans that
you just threw it away. No more. Okay.
The way I engage with these things is not through the type of like macho, machismo, over talking, debate bro stuff that Andrew's interested in.
The better way is to pervert, not posit.
Yeah.
Getting things right, historical details, economic details, something that I care about.
I
just want to say also
that shitty.
He knows about giving cheeks.
He does know about David Attenborough. He does know about
Andrew's fans that the way I engage with these things is not through the type of like macho, machismo, over talking, debate bro stuff that Andrew's interested in. I'm actually interested in getting things right, historical details, economic details,
Right.
trying to figure out what's true without having a conclusion in the first place. And I think that what can come across in these debate situations is the optics are that if someone asserts something more confidently, if someone brushes over the details, if someone asks,
What a whiner this guy is.
He is a wiener, David Attenborough. He is.
complex questions, if someone doesn't hold themselves to the same standards that they hold others to, if they punish the other person for trying to
Oh gosh.
keep themselves honest, then the optics on that are like, oh, this my guy's very strong, right? And this is where my belief is that the real strength is in being able to give up that. That's what I think the Christian sort of message is there, right? It's the crucifix as a symbol of Roman power is defeated in the voluntary abdication of that power, and that's the degree to which I regret aspects of my interaction with Andrew. Maybe he wouldn't have, I don't know. I think there's enough evidence out there that he would have been as much of a dick, regardless of if I was like very polite with him from the start. But
You know how awful it must be to be in this guy's head? I mean, it's just so exhausting. You imagine how exhausting it is to be inside that guy's head? It's just so vapid. There's no substance at all. It's just this, like, ongoing sort of, like, female narrator.
He's a dick. he was a massive dick, just constant over talking, fast and loose with the facts. I think also, I mean, I'm sure maybe something he does after these sorts of things is maybe he goes away and learns a few things, which is fine. That's a good thing. But what I want to highlight for people is just the difference between the confidence that Wilson has about the topics that he's talking about and the actual expertise that they have, right? So a real expert is...
In the homosexual's late life cycle, they must cope to stay alive. Cope or die.
Nice. That's what I'm talking about, Gary. This is the kind of chats I'm looking for. Okay? This is going to be glorious, you guys. This theme, I might even just stop Vagine and do like, I'll choose some random voice over at Bob Chats, but the fact that I got David, I mean, this is going to be good.
This is what happens when you use soy protein for your post-workout.
Thank you. This is what I'm talking about, Andrew. Another good one, Harvest. This is what I'm talking about. When we review these freaks, here we go.
See how the inferior female is upset over the superior male dominates their natural habitats. How fascinating.
So true.
is confident and secure enough to say, you know what, I just don't know about this or that. I don't know about it.
Dude, you're the dude who came with the positive claims, the accusations. You're the one who did it. That's why he showed up. You made X claim. He said, tell me how. You said, you're a fascist. I think your audience is fascism. He said, oh, that's interesting. Can you tell me how? Can you tell me how? Instead of talking about how you suck dick. Can you tell me how I'm a fascist? Still waiting. Still waiting. Still waiting.
And by the way, for people saying I'm sweating because it's actually 32 degrees in here.
He's sweating now. He has to show the thermometer to prove why he's sweating. This is hilarious. Now this needs David Attenborough right here. The weaker male copes.
Celsius. And look at the humidity. Humidity is getting up to.
Oh my
like
gosh,
65.
dude, this is sad, Nathan. This is sad level.
Because I should have opened the window. It's like very sweaty and hot. But
You know what it could be? It could actually be AIDS.
I think that it's that difference between the sort of confidence that someone like Andrew has and the willingness to concede points and the orientation towards truth. Because like I can be a dick, right, as well, and I was a dick at various points in that conversation. And there are points where I try to point out tensions in what Andrew has to say.
Tensions? What kind of language is this? Dude, it's so simple. That conversation was 2 hours too long, by the way, Nathan. I'm surprised Andrew even gave you that much time. That's insane. That's insane. X claim, Andrew is fascist. Cool. Can you tell me how that is? Well, I need you to tell me what fascism is. That's all that happened. That was your entire talk, dude. You're a waste of time.
By being like, look, there's a contradiction in your view. I think the difference is that when I do that, I'm trying.
See the elusive Gee-boy attempt to deflect from its wrecking. After his defeat, the bisexual limps home to copiously lick his wounds to inflate his ego into further delusions that will one day get him mauled to death.
Yeah, totally. Totally. Oh, that was Tutilio. Of course it was good. Yada yada. Oh, a good sense of humor of the Italianos.
Trying to do it. I'm trying to do it nicely.
You like those tensions, don't you?
You like those tensions, don't you?
Look, here's a tension for your view. Maybe have a think about that. But whenever Andrew has the slightest hint that he thinks that there's something he's got you on, he will like hammer that point rather than saying you were wrong, right? He attributes malice to it as well. He says you're lying, not just that you're wrong. And that's all about optics. It's about sectarianism. And this is where also within this, I even wonder, I even wonder, like, is it even worthwhile to engage in these sorts of spectacles? Like, what does anyone actually gain from?
How do you turn a fruit into a vegetable? AIDS.
What? David Attenborough, why can't you say the whole word? AIDS. What was that, dude? It's
from doing this.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't do it, Digital Gnosis, because you didn't engage in good faith. Good faith goes like this. I think you're a fascist. Andrew goes, why? Why do you think that? Well, can we agree that fascism is XXXXXYZ, whatever? List the bullet points. And Andrew goes, well, I don't know. That might be the case. You know what? I'm willing, for the sake of argument, I'm willing to grant you your definition of fascism. Let's see. Why don't we see if you have a point here, and then, but just one thing, if you agree. If you can agree that you'll answer some of my questions after. I think it's fair. That if you cross-examine me, that it's only fair that I can do it back.
The orb-shaped droppings are a telltale sign.
The orb-shaped droppings. That's actually funny. The poop, like examining the feces.
I don't like coming to conclusions without facts, but Andrew's a fascist, and I need him to tell me why and how.
That's right.
Because I know that this just becomes entertainment for people, right? Whereas, like, my heart, I'm genuinely concerned about, like, the state of US politics and it leading to a civil war, right? And notice how, and this is where I think that people like Andrew are just almost...
Did you hear that, guys? Did you guys hear his heart? His little heart's Twitter-pated.
In the Homo sapiens species, the bisexual is unable to make the simple decision on gender they are attracted to, so they are unable to hold more complex thoughts such as theology.
That's true, isn't it? Did you hear what he said, though? I genuinely care about U.S. politics. It's on my heart. My heart is set on U.S. politics. I just can't stop thinking about it. Thank you.
because I know that this just becomes entertainment.
Here you see the
for people,
sneaky
right?
FR's
Whereas, like,
response to
my
being
heart, I'm
discovered and
genuinely
exiled by an
concerned
alpha.
about
Sorry, I messed that one up.
like the state of US politics and it leading to a civil war, right?
Oh,
And notice how, and this is where I think that people like Andrew are just almost, you know, they're followers of Satan, you might say. They just don't know what they're doing, right? They're caught up. Andrew's like pushing these points because he's like, I'll own the libs and it'll look good on camera. And
what do you mean own the libs, dude? Not that he needs any extra defense, but Andrew debates probably at this point more against people who call themselves conservatives.
the problem is that when it comes to the rubber meeting the road, you know, you try and say, so what would it actually realistically look like where the Second Amendment would come into action and people would have to overthrow a tyrannical government? There's just no answers. There's no answers, right? It's like, oh, I can't answer, but I'm going to just push a more extreme talking point next that will, you know, stir the pot even more, as if that's what tangible. Maybe the illness here is like terminal onlineness and just not.
What do you mean illness, dude? You put your penis in a man's butthole.
Not being around real humans or something like that.
Oh no. Oh no.
The lesser-spotted worm-tongued lisped attempts to cover his tracks and save face after losing to Andrew the Smoky Lion.
The Smoky Lion. The Smoky Lion. He looks like that meme. You know that meme where it's a guy looking at something and then his face changes and the light changes, where you realize something? It's like the realization meme. He's still monologuing, yeah. Are you going to cry?
Yeah.
Wow, I need that. That's a stream asset right there. You see that? Did you see that? That was great. I mean,
Really realistically look like
watch this.
where the Second Amendment would come into action and people would have to overthrow a tyrannical government. There's just no answers. There's no answers, right? It's like, oh, I can't answer, but I'm going to just push a more extreme talking point next that will, you know, stir the pot even more, as if that's what tangible. Maybe the illness here is like terminal onlineness and just not being around real humans or something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Nice.
It's disheartening. I always feel very disheartened when
Oh, good. Let's talk more about your feelings.
I talk to these fascists, because it's like,
Oh, you're just going to claim they're fascists again? The thing in question, the reason Andrew actually called in, Nathan, is to ask you, tell me I'm a fascist, please. After your conversation where that was supposed to be the topic, where you actually defend your accusation that someone's a fascist and you couldn't do it, and you couldn't even define what fascism was, you had no interest in it, you little weasel. And now you're all, this is why I feel like every time I talk about this with the fascists. And, you know, when I call people fascists and then they call me out and say, how am I a fascist? And I can't understand how, and I don't tell them how. It's
like they
The monkeys I've documented in my docs are smarter.
It's true.
just don't care about any of the norms of reason. Like they've just rejected it all, and it's like immediately, you know that the only door that they only care about dominance, and the only door that they've got.
They only care about dominance. The guy who starts the conversation with I want to wrestle you. I'm an expert in martial arts, and I would love to pin you down, Andrew. Hey, what are you talking about, dude? This is This is the biggest cope I've ever seen in my life.
And that's what's scary, right?
Never seen this level of critical mogging. It's insane.
Because when you know that and you clocked onto it, you're like, that is all that's left open with these people, and it's awful because you don't want to have to take it there.
Oh no.
You don't. But
Hey, Digital Gnosis, I don't care how big or how well trained you are. You're just about the biggest pussy I've ever seen in the history of my existence. I mean, you are like a whiny, limp-wristed woman in the rain. I mean, you're like a lady you pick up, you know, who's trying to hitchhike, that you regret picking up because she just can't stop pouring out her story and her feelings. I can't believe you even have a girlfriend. She has to listen to this.
If they keep fucking pushing, you know, he's
going to lose. He's going to be a shooter. This guy's going to be. He's either going to eat a brain. He's going to either eat some gay brains or he's going to lose it this one. This guy has rooftop energy.
It's awful what that does. I just hope, you know.
My pearls. Oh. Guys, he's appalled. Can't you see? This is how... Oh, sorry.
This is how women act after they get shot down by the dude they want.
That's true. He feels like he approached Andrew at the bar and was like, Andrew, do you want to wrestle with me in the men's room, in the loo? He was like, I'm not gay. Get out of here. He has Dahmer energy for sure.
It is actually related to like psychopathy or something. There's only a small minority of people that's like that, but we know that isn't what can happen culturally, right? Because of the Nazi regime, because of Mussolini's Italy, North Korea, Stalin's, you know, we know that it's not just the 5% of psychopaths or whatever that get caught up in this stuff. And
get caught up in what stuff? You failed to tell us what the criteria for the thing you're critiquing. This is where philosophy leads you. If philosophy doesn't lead you to true Christianity, in which case you leap over into the praxis of Christianity, you still do philosophy, but you're actually doing Christianity. This is where it leads. You literally think in your head, Nathan, that you did something here, that you had a conversation. When really, if you view it back, which I recommend you do, you realize that you didn't defend any of your claims at all.
Either push it or...
You just call people psychopaths. You just gaslight them and be like, well, surely they can't be part of the 5% of psychopaths. Yeah, it actually turns out, Nathan, that people are rejecting modernity, Enlightenment principles, self-evident truths, rights-based systems, and they're more aligned with, maybe the warfare here is good and evil. Maybe the warfare here is decency in the world, in your society. And decency...
Observe the macaque with an F display his idiocy.
The internet is bad for people. That might actually be true.
It's a fucking awful situation that this world is in.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Nathan. Look at him looking to the right, trying to draw up some tears. Oh, Nathan. Oh. It's awful. I can't believe it.
I guess these people...
What a performance. I mean, what a performer he is.
People were, they were still around 10 or so years ago, but it was on 4chan, right? It wasn't...
Now he's doing the dog whistle, scapegoating, boogeyman routine. Totally abstract. There's people out there, scary people. They used to be in 4chan, but now they're really big and scary, and this is a horrible state the world's in.
Maybe
Where are they? Who are they? What do they believe? What's going on?
Part of my hope is...
Oh, your hope.
That... as much of a dick as like Trump is, that Trump isn't like this, even if Vance is kind of like this. I don't know what
Oh, no.
realistic.
Oh no, he's lost in the woods.
I'm so sick of hearing about the Nazis.
Seriously. Guys, he can't figure it out, y'all. This is hard. You got to help him out. He's in the deep, dark corners of the well. He can't crawl out. He needs a rope. Guys, help him out.
Stick in the world hope there is around this at the minute. Let's end with
Oh, it's just so heavy.
some.
It's just such a heavy heart he has, you guys.
Let's go to Psalm 13.
Guys, he has such a heavy heart.
My final documentary will be about Vagine's cows.
Nice, David. Thank you. What are you, like 108, David? Guys, this is a guy who believes all of your views and all of your actions are fully determined mechanistically. Isn't this wild? He's so upset and so overwhelmed, and he's appalled by the new Christian right. He's appalled. You can't even conceive of it. What do we do? He's shaking. He's quivering. He's sweating. And yet his worldview is all of our actions and thoughts are mechanistically and biologically determined. We're not in control of any of them.